But I want to show you the verses that people would use to support them. Just anyhow, because I want to be fair to all the different options here. And, you know, I realize that this can be a very sensitive subject of what happens when people die. And I just ask that even if I'm wrong, that you would check your truth against my error. That you would strengthen yourself against it and be willing to consider it. Of course, I don't think I'm wrong. And neither is anybody else. But the Bible is our standard. So that's why I'm putting verses, not logical argumentation, but just verses underneath each one of these. So the first one there says heaven, which is the idea of beholding God, also called the beatific vision. Some people, now this is not Christian, but some people, I saw this in Lion King, say, this is another movie, some cartoon, Space Dogs, that their deceased loved one becomes a star. I don't know where they get that from. Or they become an angel, or somehow they're watching over you. So this incorporates both Christian and non-Christian versions of heaven. And so we've got a few verses that support it there, 3, 4, 5, 6 verses or so. The next one here is the idea of hell, that at the moment of death you are transferred to a fire where you're tortured forever. Here are some the scriptures that people use to support that belief. The third one is purgatory. This was fun to research, and I was able to find a couple of apologetic websites, and they gave me these verses for supporting the doctrine of purgatory. The last one there is not in our Bible, so I don't know if we want to count that. But even if you check it out, I think you'll be surprised to see it doesn't support purgatory at all, but I shouldn't say that because I'm trying to be fair. All right, number 4 here is ghosts that live on earth without a body. This is incredibly popular in our society, isn't it? The idea that the dead are among us and that they're messing with stuff. They aren't like good dead in this belief system. They're all somewhat nefarious, you know, somewhat like out to get you or somebody that wronged them or whatever. And I was able to find some verses on that, you know, some different scriptures, and we could talk about these some other time. Like when they saw Jesus on the water, they said, "Oh, it's a spirit," you know. So they must have believed in walking, or the Witch of Endor. That's a juicy one, huh? All right. Then the next one, reincarnation. I don't know if you could see it. Oh, you can see it. Good. Reincarnation is the idea that at death your memory is wiped and you're reborn. And actually, there's more on that than the other ones. Which is really fascinating. You see, the Bible, you could find supporting verses for any idea, because it's just such a massive collection of literature and words that you can just about come up with anything and support it. But that's not how we do Bible study, is it? We don't come up with an idea and then find verses to bolster it. That's not the right, that's backwards, right? You read the Bible and then you get your beliefs out of it. Okay, and then we have gone, the idea that this is sort of like the atheist perspective. I don't know what else to call it. I just call it gone. Their thoughts, feelings, experience, etc. are gone forever. You know, the idea of just annihilation at the moment of death. And I've found a few verses on that. And then, you know, you always put your own view last, right? So I put sleep here, which is unconscious but able to be resurrected. And we have some verses here on that one. And so if we compare them all together, it's kind of an embarrassment of riches, you know. And so if we're going to use the Bible as a standard for an idea, and you have, after, you know, trying to find verses on all these different things, this kind of proportion, may I suggest that we lean to the right? You know what I mean? And take a look at that belief. So.